Welcome. My name's Mark Fuller. I'm the Head of History and Politics, obviously at Sheffield. And obviously for the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes, I'm just going to take you through what the A-level course involves and why you should all be doing the wonders of A-level history. So the first point to make is obviously that history is regarded as being one of those really sort of good traditional academic subjects. The Russell Group of universities in particular talk about facilitating subjects, and so a subject like history is one of those that they regard as being let's say of more worth than certain other subjects. I've got to be really careful with what I say there. So subjects like chemistry, English literature, history, languages, mathematics, physics, all of those are regarded as facilitating subjects. And so if you do opt for history, if you are applying for very academic courses in Russell Group universities, then obviously it's one of those things that's regarded as being a very good A-level choice. In terms of content, two papers sat at the end of year 13, both a mixture of essays and interpretations and sources, but the emphasis very much upon essays, and that's the big change from what you would have done at GCSE. So the first paper, the depth paper, is on Russia, and that goes from 1917 to 1953. And the depth paper is very much what it says on the tin, which is looking at Russia during that period, particularly focusing on the two revolutions in Russia in 1917, looking at Stalin and the impact of Stalin upon Soviet society and how that changes over time. And of course, with someone like Stalin, he's brilliant to learn about. If you thought Hitler was great from your GCSE, Stalin was even more of a psychopath and mass murderer than Hitler was. And so it's a really good piece of history to actually study the way in which Russia changes over that sort of time. And so you'll look at things like the Great Purges, collectivization, and the 5-year plans. So absolutely superb. The breadth paper we do is on the Tudors, and that goes from 1485 to 1603. And obviously that's looking over a much wider time span, and obviously looking at that sort of crucial moment in English history where obviously you're starting with Henry VII, who seizes power in 1485, and working your way through those Tudor monarchs and the impact those Tudor monarchs have upon the society and economy and the political system within this country and how it delivers. So it is all of those things, like a dissolution of the monasteries, Elizabeth's marriage problems, the Spanish Armada, but it's looking at those in real sort of detail, but over this sort of 100-year period. So those are the two exam papers. They're 40% each, and you'll sit those at the end of year 13. The other 20% is on coursework, the non-examined assessment, as it's called, the NEA. And that will be 20% of your final A-level grade. Now, what we do is we do a talk course on the Arab-Israeli conflict, because we often get a lot of people who are thinking about doing international relations at universities. So a couple of years ago, I think we had 5 from that particular A-level history group who went off to do international relations. And so doing something like the Arab-Israeli conflict, which is obviously very much a current modern issue, but then placing it in its historical context, is a really good piece of history. It's a really good grounding. And often at the end of 2 years, that's what a lot of our students say is the bit they really enjoyed, is actually placing a current issue within the world today and placing it very much in its historical context. And so that's what you do over 2 years. And I suppose what I like most about that is that there's not a huge amount of content. So there's a real opportunity to develop a real interest in certain areas. So one of the things we do at the beginning of year 12 is that we encourage them to read literature, whether that be about the Tudors or about Russia. So there is a real opportunity to sort of explore things in real depth. So in terms of how it's taught, lots and lots of discussion, debate, argument, the end of which is that they obviously all say that Mr. Fuller, you're absolutely right, but A-level, the big change from GCSE to A-level is that A-level is very much about encouraging you to have your own views, ideas and theories about why things have happened. And that, I suppose in a sense, is the big jump from GCSE, but I think it's what also makes A-level history that bit more enjoyable, I think. So we do source investigations, because you will have to look at sources in the Russia paper, for example. Lots of presentations, group work, but lots and lots of discussion is what we sort of really emphasise to help you sort of develop your own ideas and arguments about the different aspects of history that you'll look at over that period. In terms of results, results have been very good. You know, we're really proud of our results. This morning I was just talking to my year 13 about those results. So obviously in 2019 we got 5 A stars, 2020 we got 3 A stars. So, you know, in terms of academically speaking, our results have been very, very good. I don't think, I've got to remember now, in the last 5 years, I don't think we've had a grade below C. So obviously we're very good at what we actually do. And that's reflected in the fact that, you know, we've got a very, very good success rate with Oxbridge as well. So again, in the last 2 years, we've had 3 people studying history at Oxford. Seems to be that we have a better relationship with Oxford than we do with Cambridge. And they've been really, really successful. So, you know, on my PowerPoint there, you can see that I've got Alana, who is from 2 years ago, who's in her, what should be, this is going to make me feel terribly old, she's going to be starting her 3rd year at Oxford. And then you've got Neve and you've got Snehart, who are going to be starting in October at Oxford, who are both doing history as well. So we've been really successful in that. So I suppose, in a sense, what I'm saying is history is a winning package. It's really enjoyable. You'll absolutely love what you're doing, and you'll get very good results at the end of it. And so you'd be crazy not to do it. So at this moment in time, I'm going to hand over to Phoebe. Phoebe is in our year 13, so she's one of my current victims of history. And we're just going to hand over her, and she's just going to say a few words about what she's done in history.
Hi, my name's Phoebe. I'm one of the Year 13 history prefects. I obviously did it for GCSE and carried it all the way through up until year 13. It's probably my favourite subject, and it has been since GCSE. So carrying it on into year 13 was really good. Things that I liked about the lessons in year 12 and 13 that were different from GCSE was that we definitely get a lot more class discussion and debate, which has really helped in like learning your own opinion, which is another thing that's new in sixth form. It's more centred around your opinion rather than what the facts are, but like it's a lot more about what you think and your own views, which I really liked about it. It's good that all our teachers are really interested and passionate about their subjects, which makes motivation for it a lot easier, and it's been very interesting to just learn about all the very different periods of time, because we've had Tudors, Russia, and a modern Arab-Israeli conflict, so just learning about 3 very different topics is very interesting, and it's just how it's all the debates and the different points of view from everyone in the class discussions has all been very good, and that's why I've really enjoyed it.